Max, stop texting me. Thanks. Okay, so today my reflection is on gratitude and the best day of your life. So I'm going to lead off with a little story. So a few weeks ago, I guess more than a few weeks ago, on one Sunday night, I felt myself getting kind of sick. And I was like, okay, but I wasn't extremely bummed because I was like, well, maybe this means I don't have to go to class tomorrow because I had a lot of studying to do and like just a lot of things. And I wanted a sick day. I hadn't had a sick day all semester. I was like, I could use a sick day right now. Okay. So I kind of like prayed to God and I was like, yeah, God, you don't have to make me better. At least right now, it's fine. I'll just be sick. Um, but lo and behold, the next morning I woke up and I was basically completely better. And this didn't really make any sense because I hadn't been like eating well or getting enough sleep or anything like that, doing anything healthy. So I was like kind of frustrated. I was like, oh, I have to go to class and do all the things I was normally gonna do, originally gonna do. So I was like, oh, okay, God, all right. Clearly, you want me to do something out in the world today. You want me to make some sort of difference. You woke me up for a reason. You made me better for a reason. Like, you win. I'll go to class. I'll do it. So I was trudging up like the big Lambeth Hill. And then at the top, I ran into Jack Power, which is always a fun time. And I was kind of talking to him about how I didn't want to be going to class that day and how I wished I was like at home sick. And as I was talking to him, I said, but you know what? Today could be the best day of my life. And like, I kind of paused after I said that and thought about it. I was like, yeah, today could be the best day of my life. And I had like wished I was at home sick. So that really struck me for some reason. And I went into that day with a deeper sense of purpose and with more meaning than I would have most days. And every little thing just meant so much more to me. And I was like, I'm here, like out and about for a reason. God put me here for a reason. And I can't really exactly tell you what happened that day, but I do remember how I felt. And then I tried to internalize that, the best day of your life thing, in the days following. And I tried to tell myself, every morning, like when I woke up, this could be the best day of your life. So like go out and capitalize on what God's going to give you today. And eventually it went from this could be the best day of your life to this will be the best day of your life. And I think that transition came with the realization that I am in charge of how I view things. Like things aren't always going to go my way. Obviously, crazy things are going to happen. My plans are going to fall through, whatever. But I am in charge of my attitude and I'm in charge of dealing with it. Am I going to react like negatively, positively? Am I going to let it discourage me? So that best day of your life kind of message, I guess, if you will, really brought me a lot of joy and helped me to see the things in my life as the blessings that they were. And every opportunity just had a lot more meaning to me. So I started to spread this message to other people, and people would be like, oh, hey, Cora, how's it going? How's your day been? And I'd be like, today's the best day of my life. And they kind of look at me like, really? Like, okay, what happened that made it like the best day of your life? And I would kind of just share what I was grateful for that day with them and all the good things, what had been going right, like what I was happy about. And I would always like find some things, even if it was like a bad day and it was raining. But I realized like when I would tell this to people, they just kind of be like surprised. And it made me think a lot about how many conversations have I had with people where I ask them like how they're doing or how their day's been. And they're like, oh, I'm tired. I have so much work to do. I'm just like overwhelmed. I'm really stressed. And like, how often do we want to complain as the first thing like we do? And then I realized like how often I also am guilty of the same thing and just like looking at the negative first and foremost and just completely overlooking a lot of the blessings and the good things that happen in a day. And I kind of resolved to like change that. So what do I mean by the best day of my life? Like, do I mean that every day something drastically amazing happens to me and like my life just keeps getting better and better every day. No, that's not what I mean. I say that each day is the best day of my life because I truly believe that we're here for a reason. Like God created each of us and put us in our specific places on earth right now in this time period for a specific reason. And each day God gives us so many opportunities to accept his love in crazy ways, in ways we don't expect. And if every single day we go into the day realizing that we've been blessed and that we have an obligation to return our gifts and our talents to God and love him in the little things of our day, and we do that with love and we're trying, then how could every day not be the best day of your life? And the goal of like Christianity is to fulfill God's will better each and every day. That's why God gives us so many days, so we can have a lot of second chances. So that's what I mean by it's the best day of my life. Now, I would also like to read a quote from Jean-Pierre de Caussade, which is really important to me. There is not a moment in which God does not present himself under the cover of some pain to be endured, of some consolation to be enjoyed, or of some duty to be performed. So that quote I really like because it basically categorizes every single moment in our day into 3 categories, and just reminds us that God is present in every moment, not just the highs, not just the lows, but like the boring too. Another disclaimer, I'm not saying that once you adopt this mindset that every problem is going to go away and that like life is just going to be peachy and you're going to be smiling all the time and like happy forever. Like that's not what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that you can't be sad or mourn things that should be mourned. But I am saying that it is super important to rejoice in your blessings, to first recognize them and then give thanks that you have them, because our lives are not our own. Like God didn't create us to like serve ourselves and just get the most out of life for ourselves. God created us to serve others and first and foremost to love him. So everything we've been given is a gift and we're not entitled to anything. I think a lot of times we fall into the trap of like just complaining and just feeling entitled to a lot of things. When things don't go our way, we just despair. But everything is a gift, and that's a reason to rejoice. Like our own lives, we're not entitled to our own lives. Our lives are gifts. And realizing this will bring you a lot more joy in your lives. Our days are filled with so many blessings that we completely overlook, that we don't see as blessings. But having the mindset of, yeah, my life is a gift. How am I going to use this gift is extremely fruitful. And I'd like to read a little bit from Ephesians, because St. Paul talks a little bit about like our purpose in life and why we're here, and also about the blessings we've been given. So this is Ephesians 3 and 4, or chapter 1, verses 3 and 4. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, who has blessed us in Christ with every spiritual blessing in the heavens, as he chose us in him, before the foundation of the world, to be holy and without blemish before him. Every spiritual blessing in the heavens. I think most days we don't really feel like we've been given every spiritual blessing in the heavens. Most days we feel like we've been given a lot of hardships and we're upset. But just reading that puts it all into perspective, because we've been given so much. And especially in this time of quarantine, it's really easy to despair and to not recognize our blessings, because maybe right now we don't feel like we have any big blessings, even though we do. And I want everyone to remember that right now, the devil also wants to tell us that we don't have any blessings. He wants to dull our senses and make us blind to all the good things around us. He wants to make sure that we remain spiritually dead. He doesn't want us to have contact with God. He doesn't want us to thank God for all the gifts we've been given. So when you feel like you're slipping into despair, like call the devil out for what's happening and just say a quick prayer to God and ask for Mary's intercession. Yeah, like Olivia said the other week, right now is a special time for us to form ourselves into saints. So just remember it as that kind of time. And yeah, gratitude, it's not easy, nor does it come naturally. You really have to seek it out, and it's a challenge, especially when you wake up, you look outside, it's like raining or gray. Then you're like, wow, well, I can't even leave the house today. Also, I have a lot of online classes to go to, so I got to find the motivation to get out of my bed for those. Oh yeah, and my family's difficult. Like, wow, looks like it's gonna be a great day. It's so easy for those things to be the first thoughts we have in the morning, like as soon as we wake up. But every morning we're faced with a choice right when we wake up. First thing, we're faced with a choice between gratitude and grumbling. And when I was practicing this talk with my sister earlier, she was like, haha, bars. And I was like, okay. But then I thought about it and I was like, yeah, if gratitude or grumbling, the alliteration there makes you remember it right when you wake up and remember that this is a choice, great. So bars, if you will. But choosing gratitude right when you wake up is so important, and it's key to having a positive attitude the rest of the day. Like, I don't think we realize a lot of times how important our first thought of the day is, but it really sets the tone for the rest. So I challenge all you guys to choose gratitude instead of grumbling right when you wake up. Yeah, also at night, right before you go to bed, I have another little challenge for you guys. It's to think of 3 things that you are grateful for in that day. Whether it be like a sibling did something nice for you, like Caroline made me a smoothie bowl today, that was really nice. Or you just noticed God somewhere that you hadn't usually, or one of your classes went really well, or even like a hardship that you felt really humbled by. Like think about them before you go to bed, acknowledge them, thank God for them, and yeah, just go to bed with a grateful heart. Yeah. So to recap what I've been trying to say, be aware of your blessings and like make sure you have the eyes for them. Make sure you're like actively thanking God when things go right, when things go wrong even. So categorize the little moments of your day into pain to be endured, consolation to be enjoyed, or duty to be performed. So pain, consolation, or duty, because every moment of our day fits in one of these 3 categories. Yeah, other thing, when you wake up, be grateful. Continue to be grateful throughout the day for everything you've been given, because we are so incredibly blessed. Like even our gift of sight, our gift of health in this time. And the last thing, 3 things you're grateful for before you go to bed every night. It'll really help. It's brought a lot of joy and peace into my own life. And I really hope that it'll help you all too. And that's all I have.